Hello. In front of us, we're looking at Standard Solutions, Common Core, or College and Career Ready lesson plans for high school and English language arts. Under the category of English language arts, we have three different types of lesson plans. We have reading, we have the literature text lesson plans, we have informational text lesson plans. Under writing, we have narrative, informational, and argument, and then pertinent and important language lessons. So under literature, there are titles such as Analyzing Character, Making Inference, Modern Adaptations. Under informational text, we have things such as connotation, comparing media, analyzing paragraphs. Under our writing lessons, under information, we have things like Introduction to Research Methods, writing a literary analysis task, and then under argument, things such as advanced argumentation devices. And then in language, cliche, euphemisms, parallelism. So lots of important topics. The lesson plan topics were selected by a group of product developers that looked at the standards and identified concepts that they believed would be underrepresented in text source materials or instructional materials, or ideas and topics that they knew would be difficult to teach and or learn. A lot of our topics for our lesson plans come from our hundreds of our school districts educators when they are having difficulty finding text source materials or lesson plans for helping them and implementing, and they'll ask us to develop something. So for instance, here's a lesson plan called on Analyzing Characters for grades 9 to 10, Analyzing Complex Characters. Now our lesson plan format is similar to a Madeline Hunter. However, we have added 3 other elements. So we begin all of our lesson plans with a rationale that explains to the instructor why we wrote this lesson plan and why it is included, why it's important. Then our lesson plan goes on to our goals, standards, objectives, materials, procedures. And you can see that our procedures are very explicit. And our closing. Now, a couple lesson plan constructs that we added are teacher tips and extension activities. You can see that our lesson plans also have all the student materials that an instructor would need to implement the lesson. Now under here in writing, we have information, we have Introduction to Research Methods. And right away it tells us this is a multi-day lesson. It does not culminate in the writing of a research paper, but only covers researching a topic of one's own choosing. And then it talks once again the standards, the objectives, the materials, the procedures. It goes into each of the days, our teacher tips, and then of course our student materials. So there you have it. Lots of different English language arts lesson plans for high school English.